Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB, your sports guy. I'm being joined by my good friend. You can catch him on Crescent City Sports and on Max Preps, the one, the only VK Jones. VK, what's going on, bro?
Hey, what's going on with y'all, man? What's happening? Good to be here once again. We've been doing a lot of yeoman's work, man. It's just, bruh, it's our third day doing this this podcast. I'm like this, man. We need to get a deal with Spotify or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And then hopefully we both of us get paid to
Get
do
some
what we do.
sponsors.
Get some
Some sponsors.
sponsors,
Yeah,
get an NIL or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
definitely.
Because this is a whole lot of work.
It definitely
It's it, it,
is.
it's hard work to be that damn good. You know what I'm saying? it,
Oh,
it
man.
is, but it's good to be here.
Definitely. So tonight's show, we're gonna go a little bit more in depth on some of the playoff matches here in southeastern Louisiana. But before we get into that, VK, I gotta go back to yesterday with the interview with Coach Ryan Antoine. Great guy, a great leader of young men. It was a great interview all around. I gotta go back to one thing, and it's been on my mind since yesterday. And I wanted to talk about it when we got off, when we let Coach Antoine go. And I'm going back to that 4th and 3 play against Warren Easton. And I'm gonna quote what he said about that play. He said that he knew the play that they were going to run. And when he saw the formation, he knew the title was theirs, because he said in 8 games they got in that formation one time and ran the same play. If that's not film study at its finest, I don't know what is. And I've been to many high school practices, and I see when they say this guy comes the most in this formation, it's gonna be this, or if he stays there, it's gonna be this, or this, da 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 da. This man said they only got in this formation in 8 games and ran one play, and he knew the play. That's film study at its finest, man. And not trying to take anything away from Coach Jerry Phillips, because he's done a great job at Warren Easton. That just amazed me so much that he knew that. Countless hours of studying film for that whole week leading up to that state championship match, and that he was able to point that out. To me, that's amazing. What do you got to say about that?
Well, it's just a sign more than anything else that it's chess not checkers more than anything else. I mean, it's a chess game in life and a chess game in any kind of competition, sport or whatever, you know. And you gotta really make chess moves to really get what you really want, or not just that, to accomplish certain things, So it's amazing to hear what Coach Antoine said about this and everything. The play itself, like the thing about it, yeah, he knew, and there's a lot of film on it. But when you look at it, you know, I think deep down, when you look at the whole play, great play by Westgate and everything else. But also, let's be honest, just a little bit, not gonna take away what Westgate did to make the stop. They was very, very fortunate that Warren Easton's quarterback lost his footing. Now, if he would have
I think
lost
he got caught.
if he would have lost his footing, it could have been a different story. It could have been. We don't know. But sometimes things breaks might go your way sometimes, But to me, like, I was on the field on the sideline watching it closely myself. It was just, the fact of the matter is that, yeah, they made the play, but Westgate was fortunate that the quarterback for Warren Easton and that was Ketchum Connolly lost his footing on the snap. And with that, it threw everything off. And then on top of that, the the defense of Westgate makes the stop for the win. So but at the same time, still that's still amazing study and everything to prepare for Ednica. So, big ups going to Coach Antoine and his team. And hey, they really wanted it, and you know, they
I'm
really got it done.
I'm gonna say this because looking at it from where I was sitting at, it looked like somebody was right on the quarterback tail to make him stop and go the other way. And even looking at Josh Preston, that's what I see. And I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I want to go back to also what he said that with them knowing the play, and he said it here. He said you can go back and look, you'll see the defense make the adjustment and shift. Linebackers did. I'm really just amazed at that, VK. Like wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is amazing. It just shows, you know, how much the X's and O's mean. How
Yeah.
much X's and O's means a lot to more than anything else. And then also not the pros and you don't have to be the X's and O's. And sometimes it could be the Jimmy and Joe's, that kind of thing itself. So, you know, and, but like I said, it was a great play, and it's just a fact. A lot of things kind of went Westgate's way late in the game, you know, but it is what it is, and but Coach Antoine, he just showing how that you know his coaching has really affected that community in
Yes.
itself, and
Yes.
also to that area, and also to Southwest Louisiana.
Most definitely. And Westgate looking to make another run at another state title this year. All right.
See
So
what see and look at the difference you just said. Another one at another state title.
yeah.
That right there, it was hard to see. And you see what happens when the streak when mostly something that's been haunting you a long time and you finally get over it and everything else. That talk wasn't like that. Nah, the talk is there. It's
Yes.
amazing.
Simeon and Joe both said the same thing. They had put Danny Lewis at defensive end. Yes, they did. I did notice that. They did put Danny Lewis at defensive end for that last series. I think all 4 plays maybe. If not, definitely the fourth down play. But yes, they did put Danny Lewis at defensive end. Yes, they were putting their best players in there like we about to get this. Definitely about to
Mhm.
get this. All right. So like I said, we're gonna go over some more in depth into some of these games that's coming up. I'm going to start with Division One non-select. VK, I'm gonna let you go first. Hornville versus Washita Paris. Hornville hosting as the 16th seed. Washita Paris as the number 17 seed. Give us your in-depth analysis of this game right quick.
Well, Washita having a real up and down season more than anything else, and really starting to decline a little bit. Especially being probably one of the big schools in all Louisiana. But they've been trying to get it together late in the year and everything else. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I don't know if they're ready. This Hineville team is really coming together after a slow start. They are really just outgaining them, out muscling them, out hustling them. So I like, pretty much the matchup favors Hineville. It could be really close, but I think if Hineville is a team that can take things deep in another level, especially like long consuming drives, the run game, a little bit of a pass game, you know, there'll be chances that they'll score high and score early. They do that, they could really put them away early. So I that's why I think the Hanville Tigers has a great chance to win the first round, despite what's been going on everywhere.
We know Washita Paris comes from the district with Ruston, and West Monroe. So they played some good teams. They're taking a trip down to Hornville, and Hornville doesn't have a passing game. We know, with two good wide receivers, that's going to haunt them in the next round. But I think the talent that Hornville has is what's going to get them over the hump. I think the talent with them running the ball with their three running backs is going to help so much. I think they're gonna wear down Washita's defensive line. I think that's where the game is going to be won. Hornville gets the win with the running game. All right.
Running game. What? And when that last time Huntsville had a passing game?
They didn't have one with Puka. And if they had a passing game when Puka played, they beat Zachary. Hands down.
Very much agree.
All right. Number 25, Ponchatoula going up to number 8, Benton. Trey Willie, the head coach of Ponchatoula, is trying to get his squad back to the championship after last year. But I don't see it. They lost so much last year off that team. A very talented Ponchatoula team. Benton is coming not only with a running game, but Benton is actually passing the ball. It ain't the same Benton from years ago running that veer option offense. This Benton team is lighting up with the passing game and the running game. I think Ponchatoula has trouble definitely stopping the passing game from Benton, and Benton gets the job done. Hear me, VK?
Yeah, I hear you. You're saying pretty much Ponchatoula, like I said, the defending. Well, actually, the team that got to the dome last year, they lost a lot. They've been up and down team. They're trying to get back together. They at least put a little something together late in the year.
Yeah,
put a little something late in the year, and it's fortunate that Ponchatoula made the postseason. But now Benton, who's historically been a good program in the postseason and everything else, and they have really bounced back after the loss to Newman. After the loss to Newman, having a huge lead, and Newman came all the way back to win the ball game. But for Benton, they are a team that can be reckoned with, and they could really possibly do some damage. So we'll see what happens coming up. But I think it's going to be a really tough road trip for Ponchatoula.
yeah, going all the way down to Shreveport area to play the Benton Tigers.
Tigers, that's it.
Yes. All right. So now we're gonna go to East St. John hosting Walker, and Walker's head coach was used to be the coach for U High. I can't think of his name, but you know what I'm talking about, right, VK?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You talking about Ben's quarterback, or you're talking
about Walker's head coach?
Oh yeah, Walker's
U High.
Oh yeah. Let's see, Walker's head coach. He that's right. He used to be at U High. That's right.
Can't think of his name.
Oh, hold on. Let me get some quick research right quick.
All right.
And I could definitely tell you, because he was a really good coach.
Yeah.
Out there for University Lab.
Uh-huh.
Hold on a second. I think my computer is a little bit faster today. Yeah. Jared, I definitely apologize. I apologize to the fans. Don't mind me. I'm kind of on fumes tonight, but I'm gonna push through this. Okay. All right, here we go. Now I could get the. All right, and here we go. Chad McAfee.
Chad Mahaffey.
Yep.
Okay. So Mahaffey's trying to turn around this Walker program. He's trying to get it to be elite, to be a prominent football program. They're going to come to East St. John And East St. John head coach Brandon Brown, he's gonna have his team ready. And I think defensively, East St. John will step up, and I think that's where it's gonna be won at, because I don't think Walker's gonna be able to score on East St. John. I really don't think so. I think the defense, led by Brandon Brown, is gonna be the main key to winning this game. What you got?
Well, I can definitely agree with you on that. The defense is going to really set the tone for East St. John. If and the thing is, you don't want to get behind against a dangerous Walker team, but if they can get control of the game early, more than anything else, and their defense step in, it could be a great night. It could be a big time night for them. Big time night for East St. John.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but they must set the tone early if they're gonna continue their season.
All right, we're gonna move to Slidell versus Hammond. They played early in the year, same district. Slidell won 32-21. Now they got film on each other again from the first time they played in throughout the year, throughout the season. This is gonna be a close ball game. I don't think Slidell wanted this matchup. Hammond, on the other hand, I think is looking forward to this matchup because they lost to him and want to avenge that loss. But I think the game won't be as high scoring, VK.
Right.
Okay. But I think Slidell finds a way, once again, defensively, to get the job done.
Yeah, and they're gonna have to do that because the thing is, losing to North Shore doesn't really help them a bit, and then having the rematch against your rival, Hammond has been pretty much one of the big stories of the year, one of the big surprises this year in high school football in Louisiana. And, they've been very consistent since a good start. And, Hammond's going to really want that payback. It's going to be a very, very, very tough game this week. And, the thing is that, it's going to be, Hammond's gonna have an advantage because they played them before, and like you said, it's tough to beat a team twice.
That's
Very
right.
tough to beat a team twice. So it's gonna be really, really interesting. Could it be? It could have been, and I wouldn't be surprised it goes down to a 4-quarter game, and all of a sudden, possibly, Hammond could have a lead.
Yeah.
Going into the 4th quarter, and all of a sudden Slidell settles down, get on their long drives, and all of a sudden they get a touchdown. That's probably the game winner.
All right. Division II, non-select. Pretty much the only area team is Lutcher, and they're playing Wassman. And I think this is gonna be too much Lutcher, period, for Wassman. Offensively led by, what's the quarterback name again?
Dewanye Whitfield.
Dewanye Winfield or Whitfield?
Winfield.
Winfield. Too
Yep.
much. Yeah, this is too much for Wassman to handle this offense. Yeah, this is it. This is me being in depth. It's too much. What do you think?
I agree. I definitely agree. It's going to be way too much there. The Lutcher Bulldogs, they are playing on another level right now, and they're really, really gonna try to. They're really gonna, handle some business, get that crowd going up there. It's gonna be wild, but wild for more of that, more them more than anything else. It's gonna be, like you said, might be one sided.
We go to Division I select now. Let's start with Riverdale going to Acadiana. And folks, I'm just gonna be honest. This is not gonna be close. Acadiana offense will be too much for Riverdale to handle. Riverdale will not be able to move the ball on Acadiana's defense. It's too much Acadiana, period. And that's the honest truth. VK.
Well, name your price, name your over unders. It's gonna go over. take the over on this game. It's definitely gonna be a over 40 on this one. Over 40 on that one. So take the over. This game is just not gonna be close. Not going to be close at all. It's almost like, you know, thanks for coming. Thanks for playing. We move to the next.
St. Paul's hosting Holy Cross. I picked Holy Cross, and I'm telling you, man, Holy Cross wins on the defensive side of the ball. I'm telling you, I think defensive coordinator Tommy Connors will have a great game plan that's going to shut down St. Paul's. And I just don't see St. Paul's being able to move the ball, VK,
Right.
and be able to score many points to beat Holy Cross. So I got Holy Cross with a great defensive performance.
The thing with Holy Cross now, you got to see if offensively that they're healthy. They didn't have a lot of injuries and everything else, but the running game is going to be very, very important to keep St. Paul's defense St. Paul's offense off the field. That's very important, but they're going to need it, and the offense is going to have to guard the defense's back if they're going to have a chance to win that ball game. And the Holy Cross Tigers, it's going to be, there's going to be some big momentum there. If they win this ball game, it'll be 2 straight wins for the Holy Cross Tigers.
All right, we're bringing our good friend George Pepis. What's up, George?
What's going on, gentlemen? Y'all doing all right tonight?
Yeah, we're doing great. We're doing great. We're doing real good. All right, so George, we're gonna start with you on the next one, okay?
Okay.
Give us your in-depth analysis, quickly on who wins between Brother Martin and Woodlawn Baton Rouge.
I expected a low-scoring kind of game there with Brother Martin. The Crusaders do play fairly good defense. Yeah, they've been had a few times, but for the most part, they're strong. Woodlawn comes out of a good district. The game's at Woodlawn, correct?
No, Tag Gormley. Brother Martin hosted.
It's at Gormley, okay. I think it's a coin flip at the end of the day, but I'll tip it to the home team based on the fact both play in strong districts. But I think more of the Catholic League than I do of the teams out of Baton Rouge. So I'll tip the game to Brother Martin, but very close.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the first half will be very close or very, very low scoring. But I think Brother Martin offense gets going in the second half. And I think Tory Lambert has a big game with that being said. And I think that's where this game will be won. Woodlawn and their quarterback, good quarterback is going to LSU. I just still don't believe that they will have enough to beat Brother Martin. VK?
Well, I definitely got to agree with George on this one. The Brother Martin defense really showed a lot, and especially against St. Augustine on Friday. I mean, they really slowed down the Purple Knights team that's averaging over 30 a game. And then talking with head coach Mark Bonice, he said himself the defense is really the calling card and has really carried them all season long. I think the defense will set the tone early, and then offensively they'll get it going, and the Brother Martin Crusaders will get by with a win.
All right. Let's move on to Jesuit going up to Huntington. What you got, George? George Pepper?
I don't like Jesuits' chances. Yes, they've played good. I'm here. I don't like Jesuits' chances in this game. First of all, the long road trip to Huntington, that's way up north. Like north of Shreveport up north. All right, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you, George.
All right, y'all got me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anyway, as I was saying, that long road trip may be the difference in this game. Jesuit has played well down the stretch, won 3 of the last 4. I don't like their chances here. I mean, again, they've played well, but Huntington, the long road trip, I think it's going to do this young team in. They've done well to get to this point, but I don't see a way out. I think Huntington wins the game. I don't think it's a blowout, but I do think Huntington does get the job done.
VK.
Well, it's gonna be a tough road trip for Jesuit. Huntington, their programmers just trying to stay afloat and everything. And Jesuit, I think they're gonna be in the ball game early, but once Huntington really settles things down and everything, I think Huntington will wind up pulling away against the Jesuit Blue Jays, as Huntington will move on.
I think Jesuit will go up to Huntington and get the victory. I really think Coach Ryan McNally will have this offense up and running. Him and offensive coordinator Scott Bain's father will have the offense up and running. I just don't think Huntington will have enough to be able to stop Jesuit at all. I think Jesuit goes up there, have their mind set on this is a football game, and we got to go take care of business. That's it. I think Jesuit offense will help get this job done. Now, we're going to let George Pepis start this off as his John Eric Patriots are going to play Archbishop Rummel Friday night. Go ahead, George Pepis. What you got?
It's 18 versus 15, and most people, on the assumption that the seeds are that close, are gonna, it's gonna be a close game. I expect it to be, honestly, objectively, analytically. I expect that game to be close because Rummel does good things. They are a good football team. They have been tested against really good opposition. John Ehret in the non-district as well, but they weren't competitive as was Rummel. I can go out on a limb and go with my Patriots, but I do know what awaits next week if they happen to pass this. That's 2 seed Baton Rouge Catholic, and that's a quick exit. They won't beat that team. So, I mean, I'm not going to fool myself into believing that they will. I mean, again, we do objective analysis, but I do think John Ehret has a chance. I just want to see Royal Falgo do it against a quality football team. He's done it against 858, which, look, can we make the argument that that's the worst district in the state? I mean, let's
We
call it for
could.
what it is. Yeah, there's teams. I mean, can we be in agreement here? Because West Jeff didn't make the playoffs, Chalmette did, Riverdale made it.
Yep.
I mean, good on them, East Jeff. I mean, people are going to debunk the argument saying 4 teams make the playoffs. But ladies and gentlemen, we got 8 different brackets. Everybody makes it. But as far as who I think can win it, I think John Ehret squeaks out a close game because I'm not sure that Rummel has made the advancements from last year's team. And I think Ehret gets it done.
All right. All right. VK, what you got?
Yes, sir. This game should be a tight ball game, but I'm like this. As long as the game is like tight, I think it gives Rummel a greater chance of winning more than anything else. I think, including when it gets to the critical times of game, critical times, critical calls, critical play calls, critical this, that, and the third. I think Rummel will get the job done against a John Ehret team who's been playing much, much better. So, but I really think it's going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if it'd be a full quarter ball game, but at the same time, I think Rummel will have the advantage.
All right. David Kinsey. Yes, I saw that last night also on 1008 Prep Sports Show. And shout out to those guys. But at the same time, my opinion, that's why I wouldn't want any high school players to be on a show without the permission of a head coach. Just my opinion. I wouldn't do that. But
what did he say last night, Darren? What did he say last night? Because I missed it.
So Royal Falco said Rummel has not seen nobody like him, and they're gonna meet him, and he's gonna put them to sleep, something like that. He's gonna put them to sleep. That they won't be able to stop him at all. That's pretty much what he said. Yes, and they had a Rummel player on there also, last name Banks, plays D tackle or D end, and he told Royal Falco that you're gonna meet me. You're not gonna be able to run, and he also told him y'all horrible. And y'all so horrible that y'all film is horrible. I thought that was funny. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, that's right, David Kinsey. He said Eric beats Romo by 2 touchdowns. He did say that also. So yes. So with that being said,
Wow.
this game is really on Royal Falgo's shoulders for Eric to win. He got to come through some type of way. But I don't think so, man. I'm telling you, I think Romo is going to keep him contained to where he can't get to the outside and run and do what he could do. And I think Eric will not be able to stop Romo's offense. Not at all. I think Eric is in a lot of trouble. I think Romo wins this game, and they might win by 2 touchdowns. Now,
And it's unbelievable. I mean, how they was talking last night and everything. I was really floored because I'm like, come on, it gives some extra motivation and also extra, bulletin board material and stuff like that. I if I'm the Eric quarterback, I wouldn't even said nothing. I would have just not said anything at all. Just be like, hey, it's gonna be a good game or whatever. And it's just unbelievable what I seen, and I was not too fond of it.
all right. Helen Cox going to play Division 2 now, right quick, guys, and then we'll do a little bit of Division 3, and then we'll end it. Helen Cox going to play Saint Michael, the Archangel. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna go first, man. I think Helen Cox gets the job done. I think actually I think their quarterback. It's going to be a lot like when they play Landry. Their quarterback will be able to escape the pocket and make plays in this game against St. Michael. That's the only thing I can see on how they can defeat St. Michael, to be honest with you. Other than that, I don't have no other idea how, but I think this is it. The quarterback will be able to scramble and make plays. VK.
Well, since we're talking about the quarterback, talking about the quarterbacks and stuff like that, and everything. And all right. Which game we're talking about, right quick?
Helen Cox, St. Michael.
Helen Cox, St. Michael's. Now, Helen Cox, like we mentioned, tough schedule. Very, very tough schedule. And like I said, they've been an up and down team all year. Mm-hmm. And we don't know what Helen Cox team is going to show up.
Right.
We don't know. And the thing is, for Helen Cox, you just got to hope that the right Helen Cox team shows up and they come out with the win, which they do have a chance of doing, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Helen Cox has just got to put together a very good 4-quarter performance to get that first round victory. So that's what Helen Cox is going to do to get it done, to elevate themselves into, get themselves focused and get them in a rhythm and having a chance to win.
George Pepis.
Well, Helen Cox's pedigree as a road team in the playoffs is not very good. They don't win on the road in the playoffs. I know it's a hard deal, but this is a golden opportunity at St. Michael. St. Michael hasn't exactly been a world beater, but then again, that's what you get when you get middle of the road seeds in a game like this. That being said, I wonder where the mindset of the Cougars is, considering what happened to them last week. That was a shellacking at the hands of Shaw last week. I mean, they were never in that game. I mean, Shaw went out and broke like a shot and took Helen Cox completely out of the game last week. I like that comment, though, by David Kenzie. It might as well have been Mr. Kenzie. I'll say that. But as far as what has to happen, Cox's athleticism is going to have to win the day. I don't know if they win a game if this gets in the trenches. I'm not sure Cox is strong enough in the trenches to do it. I'm going to go with the home team here. I'm not buying Ellen Cox. I think St. Michael's wins a game that is going to be close. But I do believe that the Cougars, St. Michael's, gets it done.
Ellen Cox is the home team.
I thought it was at St. Michael's. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you good.
But
It's
still,
okay.
I'm going to go with St. Michael's. I just, I don't know how to explain the schedule, but I don't know. I don't feel confident in them. I mean, last week, that's a psychological beatdown they took last week at Shaw. I'm not
Yeah.
sure they bounce back quick enough. I think St. Michael's gets it done.
Cool. All right. Livingston Collegiate versus Frederick Douglass. I don't think Douglas will win this ball game. I think Livingston actually with their running game with number 5 and number 0 and their quarterback number 7. I think those 3 guys lead the way. Much more talented team than Douglas. I think Livingston wins by a good margin. VK.
Well, we definitely agree on that one, Livingston. Give a lot of credit to Douglas, the way they not just competed, but for them to get into the postseason this year as a program really trying to break through and break free into Orleans Parish. And they got some talent for Douglas. Very, very good talent. But I think Livingston is a little bit too much. I think Livingston's a little bit too much, and I think they're gonna really handle business. I don't think it's gonna be close.
Douglas last 2 games they were beat by a combined 92-0. Gosh, George.
Then that right there tells you what's going to happen this week.
Yeah.
Livingston, they've got more top end talent. Douglas is coming into this the absolute wrong way. You're not going to get beat 92-0 in the last 2 and think all of a sudden we're going to flip the switch. Frederick Douglass doesn't have light switches. No, not for their football team. Livingston, as you mentioned, Jared, at the top, with their top end talent, I believe they're going to rule the night. Livingston's playoff pedigree is limited, but I do think that the fact that they're going to out talent Douglas. And again, Douglas, I'm a believer in psyche. Uh, 92-0. These kids are a little bit bereft of confidence. I'm going to go with Livingston handily.
Okay. 35 hosting Peabody. And I'm going to say this. I said 35 will win. Santana Price at quarterback and number 2 at wide receiver. I don't know his name. Simeon, you probably know number 2's name. You can type it in for me. But that is a lethal combination right there. Those 2 guys, Santana Price and number 2. Definitely, in my opinion, too much for Peabody. I can't see Peabody stopping this offense that they're about to face in McDonald 35. VK.
So is it so?
That's his name.
Charles
Charles
Barrera.
Barber.
That's it. So is it 35? I thought 35 was going against DeRitter.
No, 35 versus Peabody.
35 versus Peabody. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I think it'll be interesting early, but at the same time, 35 is going to settle down and they're going to just take care of business. Like I said, the most experienced team in the state of Louisiana, and they have proven their worth this year. They're a really good team. And I tell you one thing, they had the chance against Warren Easton last week. Dave, you hit it on the mark. I was right on that, except for I was more shocked how Warren Easton bounced back to come back and win that game because 35 just gave them the best punch that they ever had. Now they gotta do that going in the postseason, and they gotta do it week for week if they're gonna have a chance to go deep into the playoffs.
George Pepis.
This game is at 35, or is that Peabody?
Pan Am.
35.
It's at 35.
Yes.
Yeah.
Central Louisiana teams aren't notorious for not traveling well, and I know Peabody a little bit. The War Horses, they've had some up and down years while I was living up that way. I'm not sure they beat 35. I think Mac 35 obviously coming out with a little more talent. I think this is the kind of game that they should win. And let's say if they have the maturation to do so. I believe Mac 35 is going to win it. I believe they win it by at least 2 scores. I think 14 points plus gets it done for the Run Eagles of Mac 35.
Okay. A rematch from earlier this year. Number 15, Carver hosting number 18, Booker T. Washington. I did pick Carver to win this game. I think Carver overall more talented at the skill positions. As far as Booker T. Washington, one person, Arnold Barnes. So pretty much Carver probably going to stack the box, 8 guys to stop Arnold Barnes. I got Carver, y'all. I got Carver. VK.
I definitely agree. I like Carver in this game as well. Carver is getting better and better as a young team. They're continuing to thrive a bit now. They're trying to really, make some noise here, trying to make a deep run. But this is probably gonna be one sided, especially with Booker T. Washington's quarterback.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be playing because he had received it was a suspension. He threw a punch against De La Salle, so he will not be playing tomorrow at all. So that really hurts Booker T, and they're really gonna eye on his running game.
George Pepis.
Did you guys see what De La Salle did Booker T last week and what they did to Arnold Barnes? Do y'all know how many yards he got last week? I
It was
know. I just want
it
to see
was
if y'all saw the stat.
I didn't see the stat, but I would say no more than
18.
45. 18.
Wow.
18 yards, guys. 18. And that's a De La Salle defense that's elite. Now they get a little bit more friendly. Now Booker T gets a little more friendly matchup, a rematch with Carver. I think this time though, as VK mentioned, the quarterback being hurt cripples Booker T, and we've all suspected they're a one-trick pony. I'm going to go with the Rams here, and I'm going to go with the Rams here.
Actually, the quarterback was suspended, not hurt. He was suspended.
Suspended. Okay.
Yeah, suspended for punching. All right, Division 3 select.
Nice.
So this game here was supposed to be played at Harrell Playground. Then it got moved to Joe Brown. But supposedly there's a middle school game at Joe Brown, and they weren't going to reschedule their game. Carver's at Joe Brown on Friday. So tomorrow night at Hoss Memphis Stadium, West Jeff Stadium, it is MLK versus Thomas Jefferson tomorrow night. MLK versus Thomas Jefferson. I'm going to go first. Too many athletes for Thomas Jefferson to keep up with. Too many. I think MLK big. They're going to have a field day. Yes, Simeon, it was there. Yes, it was going to be there, without a doubt. But yeah, too many athletes for Thomas Jefferson to cover. I just don't think they can keep up with him. I got MLK. George Pepis.
I'm with you. You're singing the right tune here. Martin Luther King Charter is going to get the job done. TJ done well to get to these playoffs, but again, when you got so many thoroughbreds against Clydesdales, that's a mismatch. Tells me Martin Luther King MLK Charter is going to get the job done and in stylish fashion. The game is at Memphis tomorrow night. Just a thought. You thinking about going, or are you going to let that one slide? That means you're there. I already know. That means a yes. Because guess what? I'm off at 2. I may just find my way there.
Come on, man.
Just saying. I do have. Yeah, we could just kick it off in a little bit, and we'll see if the prognosticator is going to join us. Possibility. I don't see him on the thing now, but
you're right there.
Considering Shaw's off, there he is.
Man,
MLK versus TJ.
I think I might be there tomorrow, and I was thinking about between there or the Tulane women playing against Alabama tomorrow, but I might join Mr. Boyd on this one. MLK has a lot of size, both sides of the ball. They're athletic and everything else. Big ups going to not just the head coach Joe Riley of MLK, but Kenneth Bush over at Thomas Jefferson taking over that program, and he's done a great job maintaining the program and getting them to the postseason. But for that being said, MLK is going to win as well. It's a messed up situation for them to play the game at Memphis because scheduling conflicts. They couldn't get a game Thursday at Joe Brown because of the fact that their Nord had actually, and I was
Nord.
listening to I was listening to that on 1008 Sports, that Nord had a couple of their championship games on that Thursday night, which I really think that was a real disservice for Nord. They could have moved those
Nord could have moved that
ball
to
games
Saturday.
on Saturday. They could have did that. It could have been a nice big day. They can make some nice money. It'd have been a nice day to do that. So I don't understand that. It's just amazing, and I know Joe Riley's gonna get his team fired up because the fact of the matter is that we're not in our confines. So I think they'll do just fine over at Husbands tomorrow.
It's crazy that they're coming to the West Bank to play Thomas Jefferson, and Thomas Jefferson is a West Bank school. Now we know MLK gonna be sitting on the home side because they're hosting a playoff game. But could Thomas Jefferson actually bring more people than MLK? Is that even possible? I've never seen Thomas Jefferson.
Well, Thomas Jefferson is a real decent program. They have a decent fan base. I think the only time they really be deep is when they play Haynes in the Magnet Bowl. That's the only time you see a huge crowd between the two is when those two play. So, might be a decent crowd tomorrow night, but we'll see.
All right. Country Day hosting Green Oaks and Coach Cheddar. That's a funny guy right there. I'm not gonna say what he said, but if y'all saw it on Instagram, oh man, that was funny, man, Coach Cheddar. But I'm gonna say this: Josh Swing, untouchable this game, untouchable. Green Oaks does not stop Country Day and Josh Swing.
Jack Swing.
I apologize. Jack Swing.
Yeah. I guess they can call them the new Jack Swing.
They could.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
Jack the new Jack Swing. That's I'm like this. That's his new name. Shout out to Coach Cheddar. Yeah. We giving them props on this show.
Yeah.
And we're gonna call him New Jack Swing because he can swing it out and roll with it. We may be one of the best with him. But it's just amazing that the fact that how deep is this running back core this year. I cannot fathom what I have seen all year long with this running back core. I cannot believe we find new people every week. At first we had 6. Now we're up to what? 10?
We up there, bro.
We have the 10 backs. And we thought the running back was a loss form. No, it's not. So I'm loving it. I think Country Day is gonna win big. Coach Cheddar has his team going, and I like what they're doing. And I don't know if Country Day is gonna. I know Coach Cheddar is gonna do what he can to get Booker T back. I'm sorry. I'll get Country Day back to a level that they have not seen before since the
few years ago.
Well, a few years ago under head coach
Tampa.
Joe
Tampa.
Joe Champa. That's it. Who's the offensive coordinator now at Rummel. And when I say Cheddar, when I say that guy Joe Chango took Country Day to levels that they have never been, and I ain't never seen a Country Day team like that. Well, Coach Cheddar's trying to get them back to that level.
George Pepis.
Country Day versus Green Oaks. Green Oaks makes the trip down here, correct?
That's correct.
Y'all know where Green Oaks is?
No.
Give us the location.
Way up there around Ruston.
Okay.
That's not exactly
Ooh.
around the corner.
No,
It
not at
kind of
all.
gives you an
No.
idea. It kind of gives you an idea where I'm going with this game. Look, I'm a believer in long travel. You got to be special good to make that trip down here and get the dub. Country Day, as BK mentioned, is on the bounce back. They haven't been down long. I mean, but Cheddar, I saw that video and I thought I smiled big. I smiled like a kid on Christmas because I know, and I'm not going to repeat it either, but yeah, this is a unison agreement in that respect. Now, as far as the game, I think Country Day gets it done. Again, Green Oaks, I don't know much about this year. I do know Country Day, and I do know that they could spark on offense on their best. And I don't think Green Oaks has seen that kind of competition of where they're from to think they could come down here. And I'm not saying Country Day is special or anything like that, but Green Oaks hasn't seen this kind of team. I think Country Day handles business and it handles it decisively.
Question on that game, Jared. Is it early kickoff? Is it the 4 o'clock 4:30 special, or is it the 7 p.m. kickoff?
Here's my question to you: does Country Day have lights?
Well, I
No.
think actually they do, because they had a project that was done under Chango years ago that they instilled some lights at the stadium. So they've been having some Friday night lights at their stadium recently.
I,
So they do have some lights.
I'm thinking it's going to be a night game just because this team has to travel. I'm
Mm.
thinking it's a night game. This team coming 4.5 hours away. Yeah, this is going to be a night game because I know they played in lights with St. Martin because they rivalry
Right.
with St. Martin, so I know that for a fact. But yeah, this is gonna be a night game. This is not gonna be a day game. No way.
Okay.
All right, last one. Division 3, um, non-select. Yeah, Division 3 non-select. South Plaquemines versus St. Helena, and I think once again the athletes that Loud Feet has on his squad for South Plaquemines is gonna be too much for St. Helena. I don't think St. Helena can cover these receivers and the running backs. Too much for them. I got South Plaquemines. VK.
I think this is going to be a hell of a matchup more than anything else. I think it's going to be an absolute war, because I don't think St. Helena is going to lay down and just let South Plaquemines handle them like that. It's going to be an interesting ball game throughout, but I think once South Plaquemines makes some big plays and settle down, they'll pull away for the victory. Lyle Feet's done a great job with the program and everything, trying to get South Plaquemines back to the level that they were long like a little while ago, since they won multiple state championships.
George Pepis, last word.
Hurricanes. Hurricanes. They get it done. They're going to beat St. Helena. Wow, Feet's got a nice little thing going. Not sure they're going to go much further after that, because Boyles awaits them in the second round. And that offense, what they did last week was criminal. 88 points against Pickering. 88 in a high school game that takes 48 minutes. You scored 88
Yeah.
points. That's stupid good. South Plaquemines wins this week, but their season ends next week. They will win this week though against St. Helena.
So South Plaquemines season ends next week to Avoyals is what you're saying.
Correct, sir. They got to make the trip up
Oh,
to Royals next week, so I think that'll do them in. But the Mustang offense is an offense they haven't seen, and that
okay.
offense is going to go wild.
All right. Everybody that tuned in, we thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate it. Tune back in on Tuesday. That's when we're going to start going back over what happened in the first round. And we're going to talk about second round matchups. VK, last words.
Well, good thing you mentioned it. I know we kept on debating to see if we were going to come back Sunday or not, but I guess we will come back on Tuesday, and we'll probably have a guest, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, if people are asking about Sunday, just wait, just wait. We'll be back on next Tuesday, and we'll
David
go over everything.
David Kinsey, I'm gonna tell you exactly what's going on. Why we're not gonna do Sunday? Here's why. So number one, Saturday. I'm gonna be in Ponchatoula for a tournament, and then I got someone else to be later on that night. Number two, I got someone else to be Sunday afternoon and Sunday night. So there's no way I could try to fit it in hard. So we're gonna do Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. That's the issue. So you deserve that explanation, my friend, and I'm giving it to you.
And yay, we get rest. Yay. Yeah, I like if you're seeing me, yeah, I look kind of funny because a little bit yes, I've been falling a little bit behind the wheel because the fact of the matter is, we all been working. I've been working my what off. Then on top of that, it's just the fact that I'm going to school online, working at a middle school, and then I have other jobs too. Plus, I'm coaching. I'm actually coaching a middle school basketball team, which tonight we had a game and we won. So I'm happy about that, getting a first victory. But at the same time, I'm beat. So I'm kind of glad we're not doing a show Sunday. But Tuesday and Wednesdays has been our great days. We've been coming up big, and we will definitely have a guest next week. Probably for both of those shows or whatever. But we'll keep you posted on that, and it's been real fun, man.
Definitely. George Pepis, last word before we go.
Uh, I'm going to piggyback off of what VK said, but the other thing is about getting rest. Y'all need to know I'm going to get my 4 days off after tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I get 4 days off. I don't go back to Tuesday. So guess what? R&R is in the offing in a big way. But another great show, gentlemen. To I don't even call this working with y'all. I call this just three guys. The show title is so apropos. Hash it out. We just throw it out there and we throw topical stuff and we get at it and we give information and analysis. And that's a beautiful thing to have. That being said, it's going to be another great weekend. Oh, by the way, it's going to be chilly this weekend. Like, not winter chilly, but I don't know what y'all call winter. 50s for the highs and 30s for the lows. I love it. Bring it. It's almost the holidays. That's the
Yes.
kind of weather we need. Not this 85 nonsense on November the 9th. That's idiotic. And gentlemen,
Ah,
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing out look. Coming from a guy who was born and raised in New York, grew up in blizzards and all that stuff. That ain't never going to happen here. The cold weather, let's have it. But I'm looking forward. I'm sorry I couldn't join y'all Sunday. It would have been fun to throw the predictions out. I might do a Facebook Live video later and throw some predictions out and see where y'all are with me because I didn't get a chance to watch the replay. Working as I am, I'm going to
Yeah.
sit down and watch the replays of the two Sunday shows that you guys did. And I did get to read some comments, though. I didn't get, that you guys, I mean, look, to be with y'all is a pleasure. To be with y'all is a pleasure. It's fun. And we do. This is almost like sitting down at Buffalo Wild Wings and kicking it with the
Yeah.
fellas. That's what we
Yep.
do. You know, it's not scripted. It's unrehearsed, but I mean, the only thing we do well is prepare. And I feel like I wasn't on my game tonight. I'm sorry for that, for some misinformation numbers or whatever. That, with who's home was I just wasn't on my game. It was a long, very strenuous day today, and yeah, I'm like VK, tired. But you know what? That 4 day weekend's coming,
There you
and
go,
I don't
buddy.
know.
I
I'm
might,
just saying.
I might after what happened today. I'm outside of things. I might have to take a 3 day. Don't tell
Hmm,
nobody.
I ain't telling nobody.
Don't tell nobody.
no,
Just
yeah,
I'll
what
find
3 days?
out. I'll find out after tomorrow with my job and practice. We'll see how everything pans out.
I do have one,
So,
Jared. I have one question for you, sir. What
Yeah,
time Tuesday are we talking? What time Tuesday and Wednesday? Is it the same time, 8:15?
yeah, 8 o'clock, 8:15. Yeah, same time.
Okay, that sounds fair. Okay, I'm hoping to join y'all for sure. Either one of those 2 days. Again, I go back to work Tuesday, and hoping I don't have to stay the ridiculous overtime that I've been staying. I mean, the paychecks look good, but the body's saying, "Hold up, man, slow down."
Right, right.
So you
yeah.
know, um,
And this week,
so
I'm good. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead, VK. I'm sorry.
I was saying this weekend, all you fans out there, go support your teams, man. Go support these kids. Starting tomorrow with MLK, playing tomorrow against Thomas Jefferson, but all these other games. Go support these kids. Go watch some good high school football. What a weekend that's gonna
Hmm.
be coming up, man. You got the Tulane Green Wave. I think me and Jared is gonna make a run over there as the Green Wave will host UCF in a top 25 matchup. Probably,
And beat them.
I think it's the first time ever at Tulane they will have a top 25 matchup. Might be a bigger crowd than the homecoming game. We'll see about
Memphis
that.
was bigger than that. No,
Memphis was big in that.
Memphis was
Memphis
homecoming.
homecoming.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
Memphis
homecoming. Yep,
homecoming.
you're right. My fault.
Yeah. So
They're gonna beat UCF.
I hope
Yeah,
so.
I hope
I
so.
think it's going to be a great game. What a smorgasbord of sports this week. You think about it. We can't wait to see the Tulane game. We got wrestling on the weekend as well coming to town. Hard times, NWA and Wildcat. I mean, look at the week, man. Look at this unbelievable week. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's another story, Simeon, in itself. I don't know if you heard about this before we get out of here. Uh, did you hear? And they had a little something about College Game Day, ESPN College Game Day, going to Texas for I believe the second time this year, and there was
When
a lot of spew and hate from Tulane fans because of the fact that why College Game Day did not come to New Orleans for Tulane UCF instead of the Texas TCU game.
That'll be all right.
yeah, that'd be fine.
That'll be all
We're not
right.
tripping.
I agree.
Max
I
Duggan,
agree.
Max Duggan and TCU in the playoff right now. Let me see. What's my choice? Yeah, Tulane UCF may be a competitive game. Texas TCU should be competitive because Texas did come up with a big win last week. K State. Look, if I'm game day, oh, it would have been fine to see him in Yeoman. It would have been fun, but maybe Tulane gets that chance when they play. Well, no, since he's on the road. Geez, okay, I think
Mhm.
yeah, they're on the road this
In a
time.
row. Yep.
Yeah, because they played him here last year with a third string quarterback and almost beat him. Look, Tulane could find themselves in the one bad thing for the Wave before we get out. Liberty beat Arkansas. That's a group of five team that is in front of Tulane that needed to lose last week. They didn't. So the Wave got a little work to do to get to that big payday bowl. Went out.
And TCU is led by Hacksaw Max Duggan. Oh.
Anyway, everybody, we thank y'all for joining us. For my friend VK, my friend George Pepis, we'll see y'all on Tuesday. Y'all